what I'm going to say first is that the barcode scanning is going to be part of WES.
Okay.
So that's the goal here, is to integrate that so we don't have to do any kind of bar. So what I'm going to do is so the bot has a shelf over here. We're going to call it back. So these barcode scans would be handled through the Fetch cloud. So the Fetch has their own cloud system called FetchCore, and we would integrate that with WES, and then together they could, set up how the when to pull the cart here and what items to pick and all that kind of stuff. So.
Okay.
Cheat sheet here. So actually I can show you this too. This might help. So this is Fetch's interface, FetchCore. It's a little bit reduced to be on a tablet, but normally what you see is a map like that. So this is how they localize. And so we're at rest. You can go to the voice.
Oh wow.
So all that interaction was done in the cloud. So these bots will need internet access. They'll need ports in the firewall. So when we brought it into like the demo center and stuff like that, you have to go have cloud ports open so they can access. Let's see, what is it? Oh, en route. So.
Some questions? One minute.
Let's see. We were having some trouble with them earlier, but all week it's been pretty good. Uh-oh. I might have requested that wrong.
Is that the that's not the AGV, that's the AMR.
Oh,
AMR,
never mind.
right?
I know what I did wrong.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
They call them Amars, mostly because that's what I'm doing wrong. Mostly because the AGVs require some infrastructure to be installed. So, like the Kiva systems, you have to put down fiducials patterns in the floor. A lot of infrastructure involved. These are guided by the SICK LiDAR in the front.
Got it.
So
AMRs are much more intelligent.
yeah, so there are also two sensors. You can see them kind of on top of each other, and those are to detect people in the way, so it can dynamically reroute around. We had it in the St. Louis office and driving it in the shop there, if you've ever been there, and people were walking around and it just kind of goes around, so it makes it convenient.
It's like, I guess what's the benefits of having
An AMR versus an infrastructure. I mean, yeah. So the key here is that I don't know what Fetch will tell you, but the setup time to go in, pretty much you just have to drive with like a game, like a gaming console, little joystick thing.
Oh yeah, you're like controller.
Yeah, so they have one of those, and you just drive it through the whole shop. It does a mapping operation. Once you have the map, you set up I don't know if you saw the charge dock, but they set up a charge dock, align that up to the map, kind of in the manual process. You can kind of see the outline of the charge dock in the map, and then you put you basically augment the map with the charge dock, like pick locations or different locations, speed zones, all these types of features that they can apply to the Fetch robot in the workspace.
Right.
And then it can work amongst people as well. So
now I know that some customers came by yesterday and were asking if they have shelves that they can push around, and we want to go to an AMR because we don't want the idea is to keep the employee more productive and try to minimize the travel time.
Yeah.
What happens if they have their own mobile shelves are the heads on top of the AMRs interchangeable to like, because I know like right now these have like 2 pick prongs.
Yeah. So what I do know, actually at Fetch's booth, they have a short shelf. So the base is part of their product, and that requires the integration to those prongs that go up. And there's a certain size. You see these little flanges on the legs there.
Right.
Those are how it localizes and finds those prongs. So you have to have the
Centers
base.
itself,
Yeah.
more or less.
So you have to have the base, but anything on top of that base, they have just, yeah, you can just stack whatever you want on top, as long as it fits within the profile of this shelf. It can't be any bigger because it's trying to navigate around and not hit things.
Now, how heavy do things have to be for it to be able to move? What's the max? It can move?
Oh, the max weight for the
Weight-wise, yeah.
shelf? I'm not sure about that. I think they did tell me that they're making a fit. They have the bigger bots. Did you go to the Mason Demo Center?
Yes.
Yeah, we've seen it there.
Don't they have a 1500, like the big pallet mover?
They have a pallet mover, and then they also have like the tall AMR that looks like you could. Well, it's already got the shelf built into
the blue
it.
shelf
Yes.
and the HMI on it.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the HMI cart, and its operation. We're going to use that one in our paint shop, and you just have the same kind of thing I was showing you on the screen, and you just touch where you want it to go next. So it would come up to you with parts on it, and you can set up the screen. It's pretty easy. They walk you through the whole setup when they come out and set in.
What data is it connected to? Where does it get its data from? Data. Does it have to be integrated with a WS, or like, where does the information come from?
I think that's their preferred solution, so that's why I think they're coming to us to work with us on these kind of integrations, because we have the WES. And as far as I know, so Dave Bader is our point of contact at Fetch.
Okay.
And as far as he told me that they were already starting a process of integrating with ROS.
Okay.
And I heard that like 9 months ago. I have no idea what the progress is on that, but
So is this a goods to operator operation that you're kind of mimicking right now?
yeah. I mean, in as much as I know about the full process, I mean, most of my knowledge is in the Fetch itself, but as much as I know about the process, you bring it.
Go get this, bring it to me.
Their whole business
Part
case is
or-
business case is keeping the people from walking, because walking wastes time.
Right.
So if we can kind of queue these things up, and they're detachable, so I could have thousands of carts and maybe 20 robots and just manage it through the
What
West.
is the average ROI on a single AMR?
Oh, that's a good question. I know they showed me. Actually, we met in the Chicago sales office, and they have a spreadsheet where they can work out they have certain inputs. They provide the ROI on that, but yeah, you'd have
How many
to.
operators you're replacing?
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
How big's the facility? And
yeah.
everything?
Well, yeah, something like that.
So in relation to that, in like what capacity is it more effective? Like, does it have to be like 10 employees, or where is it more effective in a warehouse?
Oh wow, that's also a great question. I would think it's somewhat dependent on space
Okay.
and how much stuff you're moving around, right? Because people get worn out, or you have carts to go, they get on and go pick. I mean, but if they just stay here and we kind of treat it like a Amazon Kiva thing,
Right.
where they're just staying here just in time, bringing stuff and doing like an order fulfillment or a pick station like this. I think I think the bigger the space probably makes more sense, and also depending on how much they've already invested in. I mean, in some ways, this is like your dense, the shuttles are the dense, high end, lots of capital, and these are kind of as it was explained to me, these are like the low end.
Onesie, twosie.
Yeah, you're kind of starting up, and you don't know how much scale you're going to have.
Gotcha.
you know, you can get this system and be pretty efficient.
That's some good information.
But they, you know, the speed is kind of the difference there, and the
Got it.
dense pack kind of.
Okay. That's some good information. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, gentlemen.